Hello everyone. I'm just going to take you through the process of how to set up your folder, your shared folder for your department. And you can basically follow along from the email instructions I've just sent out. So the first instruction is to make a folder for your subject. So you can click New Folder, and the example I gave was, for example, a geography folder. So that's step one. You create that, and then inside of that folder, in fact, before I do that, you are going to give every member of your department editing rights. So you're going to right click, you're going to go share, and each person in your department is going to come up. So for example, I'm going to share this with Shay, so I can click that. If I want to share that with David Machado, I click that. And all I do is, after doing that, putting their names in there, I just click send, and they will be shared and have full editing access rights to that folder. So you should do that for every person in your department. Okay, I'm not going to do that now because I don't need to, but okay, then the next step, you are going to go into that folder and you're going to create two subfolders. The one is going to be called, in this case we're using geography, but obviously it's adapted for your subject, the geography learner folder. So we'll do that, and then we're going to create another one for geography teacher folder. And if you like, you can even put the teacher geography folder, or you can write it another way around, as long as you've got one for the learners and one for the teachers. Alright, now the teacher folder is where you're going to put things like your minutes from your meetings, your lesson plans, things like that. Basically stuff that's only relevant for teachers, and only teachers will have access to that folder. And so you can fill it up with whatever department stuff is relevant. I'm going to go back a step, and I'm going to go into the learner folder. And what I suggest you do is you create a folder for each inside that. So you go in, and you create a folder for each of the grades. And so for example, in geography, I would recommend the following naming convention. So 8 Geo, let's make it all uppercase, 8 Geo 2016, and that would be the naming convention for that. You would click 8 Geo 16 like that, and you'd create a folder for the grade 8s for geography, and then you would create another one, for example, for the 9s in the same manner, and you would just carry on creating one folder for each of the grades. Now we want the learners to be able to access the learner folders, so I'm going to go back for a moment, go back to the geography folder, and I'm going to set the access rights on the learner folder differently. So I'm going to click on the geography learner folder, I right click and I press share, and then what I do is I go to advanced, and if I look here I go to change, and then I go to here anyone with the link, and we want it to be set to anyone with the link can view these documents. So basically we're going to share these with the girls, and we want them to be able to view them. So we click save, and we click done. And so now the whole geography learner folder, anyone on the internet can view that, which is kind of what we want. We want to leave the teacher one closed. Alright, now the next step is to create shortened URLs so that the learners can get to the relevant folders for them. So for example, if I go into the geography learner folder, I want the grade 8 to be able to get to the grade 8 learner folder. So what we're going to do is we're going to use bit.ly. So I've already opened bit.ly on the left hand side. I would suggest you do the same, bit.ly.com. We're going to log in. I have a address set up. You may need to set one up yourself. So I sign in, and I'm signed into bit.ly now. So how do I create a custom URL for a folder? So I go back to this tab and I click on the grade 8 geography folder. I right click on it and I click share, And now I click on this main link here. That's the link of the folder. I right click again and I get copy. I now go back to Bitly and I paste it in the top here. And I can go Control V or right click and paste and give it a moment. Now you must be signed in. So here's where the custom part comes in. All I'm going to do is I'm going to make this basically bit.ly 8geo 2016. Now if that is taken, in fact I'm not going to take this now just because I want the geography teachers to take it, but if it was taken you could always stick something like 8geo 2016 WGHS in there, or some other kind of thing to make sure that if that's taken already it's similarly easy. So I'm just going to put an extra number in there just so I don't take an important address. So once I've put that in there, I click save, and you'll see now that that address is actually, it's been customized. It's on the left hand side here, and so that is now the URL of that folder. So if I click on that, or if I take this address and I go Control C and I go to the top and I type that address in, if I go to that on the internet, it takes me to that grade 8 folder which I want to send the kids to. Now what I want everyone to do is just click done there. We've done it for the grade 8 folder. We want to repeat this process for the grade 9s, the grade 10s and so on. So for the grade 9s, just to go over the same process again, I would right click, I click share, I now click on the main link, I copy that link, I go to Bitly, I now need to paste it in here, and all I'm going to do now is I'm going to give this a custom name which you can just follow the instructions in the email. And so you go through setting up these 5 or 2 depending on your grade custom URLs so that the learners have an easy way to get to their documents. And then once you've done with that, all you need to do is make sure that you share those addresses with the learners and with the teachers. And as the year goes by, what we're going to do as teachers is we're going to fill up these folders with relevant documents that are relevant for the learners. So things like weekly worksheets, or basically documents that we want the whole grade to get. They must know if they need to get those documents, they go to this one folder, this one place. And it should save us then a lot of time. And yeah, it'll take a while to get used to using this format, but once we get it, it should save us a lot of time. Okay.